Hey everybody. How y'all doing today? I am in the process of doing some things, so forgive what's behind me. I had a thought today. I was speaking with someone in regards to um insurance, and they were asking me some questions. And I had this thought cross my mind um because I grew up in Chicago. I grew up in the hood. So, I'm 57 years old, so that was in the 70s, 80s, growing up, some of the 90s. And I realized even though I grew up in the hood, um the fact that I grew up in the hood, I put it that way. There were some things that were not accessible to me. And I can't speak for anybody else, but it wasn't accessible to my family, to us. And we we weren't not given financial wisdom inheritance. It's so much that I did not learn until I became an adult and well into my adult life, about finances. And I don't know how many more people are out there that can possibly identify or relate to what I'm saying to you, but I was not given that. I wasn't given that. I'm lower this a little bit because I look like I'm, real. I am real short, but just didn't want to have to look like that. Okay. All right. That's better. Um, but I wasn't given that privilege of having the financial wisdom from, being inherited to me from anyone, from my parents or my grandparents, people around us. And, that kind of put a damper on things for my adulthood. And I'm learning now. I'm becoming more aware of things that are accessible to me now. And I have to say, or give the, I guess the accolades to the internet, because you can find out more things are at the tip of your fingers now. Um, yeah, it just seems like it's so much more accessible now. And I've always been apt to learn, but when you don't have the right people in your path to help you or to teach you, instead of looking down on you, they teach you. I didn't have that. And when I longed for it, when I asked others to help in certain areas, I either got mocked or laughed at, or talked about behind my back, for trying to better myself. So I'm not sure who's out there who can relate to what I'm saying, who understands what I'm trying to say. And I probably kind of all over the place, but that financial wisdom, that inheritance of financial wisdom is so important. And when you don't have it, you can make so many mistakes. There's so many things that I want to tell my younger self, but those days are gone. And it's not like a movie. You can't really actually do that. But so I'm sharing it with someone else. Maybe it's, a younger person out here that's looking, or seeking something. Yes, you can get wealth. You can get the wealth of the world, the money. Money is the answer to all things. The Word of God even tells you that. However, the wisdom of what to do with the money, the wisdom of how to be wealthy and leave an inheritance to your children's children, not just the money, but the information, um, things in the family, a will. And that's how I came upon this conversation with this young man. A will, just a will. Some people have something to leave behind. Some have, they have money to leave behind, in like maybe life insurance. But how many of us that were born and raised in the hood, uh, in their 50s actually have a lot to leave your children. If it's even if it's materialistic, stocks, bonds, things, things that you bought that are heirlooms to the family. I don't have an heirloom. And not saying that anybody else has to be like me. But the point that I'm making is that's not something that was taught to me. And I keep it personal because I can't speak for everybody else. But just think about it. Having a will, what would you put in it? Is there anything actually to put in a will for your children or their children? And that's something that hit me like a ton of bricks today. Because as a 57-year-old woman, I don't have anything to leave my children or their children. Not in a will. I wasn't taught financial wisdom. And I don't have the inheritance of financial wisdom. Now I'm starting to learn more. I'm beginning to learn more. And it's a possibility from this point on, if it be God's will that I live well into my 90s, I can leave my children and grandchildren and possibly great grands at that point an inheritance. And I have a will and maybe can start an heirloom of some kind because I don't have one. So it's just thoughts that came to my head today while I was speaking with this young man. And it's mind-blowing to me. I don't know about you, and I hope I'm not all over the place. But y'all, it just hit me and I needed to share it. I wanted to share it because maybe somebody else can relate. Maybe it'll help you to be able to, start getting things together in perspective. No matter what it is, whatever's valuable to you. Whatever's valuable to you. Now, the soul salvation is valuable to me. So yes, I have, and I've given that. I've given Jesus. I've given that. But he said you'd leave an inheritance to your children's children. So that meant God is not ignorant of the fact that there are material things and in some form or fashion that we should be leaving for our children and their children to be able to hold on to be able to be proud of, to be able to keep moving and growing. So take it for what it's worth, y'all. It just hit me hard, and I don't know if it's going to hit you hard, and I can't speak for you, but just know that I love you enough to share my thoughts. I love you enough to share my experiences, because tomorrow is today. Tomorrow is today, and we got to do this now. We got to get it now. Let's get it now. Let's get it right now. Let's do it now. Let's show up for ourselves now. Tomorrow is today. It's time to make your own lemonade. Take them lemons that life has been throwing us and make your own lemonade. It's time. I love you guys. I hope you like, share, and subscribe. And I will talk to you soon. Have a wonderful evening outside of this. Talk to you soon.